Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Had a very, very relaxing weekend, bro. I sent you a couple pictures. Like, I was in my backyard. I wasn't going to do shit this weekend, bro. Like, I think, like, the emotional highs of the weekend prior in New York, I was like, bro, no one called me. I didn't drink a fucking, like, ounce of alcohol. I was just like, bro, just peace, body, soul, everything, bro. So nice. I had a very relaxing weekend, though. But how about you, man? I want to hear about this comedy / hip hop show.
Yeah, it was dope. I actually had no idea that it was taking place, but essentially my boy Moon, who you know, I guess his wife was looking at events on Spotify, another thing I didn't know existed. And she saw that Jacquees was performing, because I guess she's like a big fan of him. It turns out it was like this mix of different R&B artists who are somewhat like contemporary, like Mario, Trey Songz.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, so who were, like, so people know, like, what are the overall acts that were there?
Yeah, the overall acts were Mario, Jacquees, August Alsina, Trey Songz, and I forget if there were Monica.
Yes, I saw that one in the flyer. That was dope.
And that's all I can remember at the moment, but those were the main acts. And then they had some comedians, like, they weren't really doing like stand-up sets. It was kind of like just to fill like the void when the artists are changing. Yeah. And DJ Envy was DJing, which was kind of cool. But it was dope. It was definitely an older crowd, I'd say.
Oh yeah, with those names,
25
bro, I know,
minimum.
Like, yeah, I know Jacquees. Well, I don't know. Jacquees is like probably our age or little, but like, what, that guy August is young as fuck, bro. So besides him, the rest is for, like, you know, probably older than us, to be honest, like 40, 45 years old, like, I would think.
Yep. So in general, the age was pretty young as far as the demographic, but I think it, like we always talk about it, it made the vibe that much more calming. It wasn't like super rowdy, didn't draw in the crazy kind of crowd that not that would make you nervous, but you just don't want to be around, you know, people doing stupid shit, people who can't handle their alcohol.
Yeah.
So that
not
was
to say
nice.
that we can, but like usually when like we just like decide, all right, I'm taking an Uber instead, as opposed to like, yo, let me kill somebody today. You know what I mean? Let me just like pull out this gun. Like, so I understand.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I mean, Trey Songz was the last performance, probably for a good reason. I think he had the most bangers, kind of bridged the gap between the young and the old, and he definitely has some hits. So it was dope to see him perform, because I had never seen him perform as far as I can remember.
Yeah, dude, I've never seen Trey Songz perform. I remember it was like junior year in college, he dropped like one of my favorite R&B albums of all time. I think it's like the Black Album, or I don't know. It was the Trey Songz one where he tries to be like D'Angelo on the cover.
Yeah. I know.
I can't remember. About. Yeah, but yeah, is it fucking Black Rose or some shit?
Is it the song where he's like,
bro, there's like
leave, but I gotta
8
go
bangers
right now
on that fucking album. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, that was when
I
became a fan of him. Forget the
like
name.
That shit
I gotta make it. The one with Twista. Yeah, gotta make it.
It must. Oh, sorry. The album is called Ready.
Okay.
And that album came out in 2009. Yeah, I was beginning of junior year in college. But this was straight baby making music, bro. Like every fucking song, like literally the intro is Panty Dropper. Like, like this shit, like, yo, Panty Dropper. Oh, dude, I invented sex with Drake.
Yeah, neighbors know my name.
Yeah, LOL smiley face, because people were still on the
I remember that album.
The BBM, BlackBerry Messenger.
Yeah,
bro, I gotta download this shit tonight, bro. I gotta run it back.
When I went on Facebook, now that you bring it up, because when I was looking through my old Facebook posts, I post LOL smiley face, and one of my fraternity brothers was like, haha, this song is so horrible. Like, how do you like this shit? But at the time, like, it was cool. Song. Yeah, no, he did. Like, I mean, it's kind of corny, but like, it was fun corny.
It was fun corny. Yeah, like going back to like, that was a weird era. We were talking about eras last episode. If you guys haven't peeped, it's on the boat, episode 134. But sorry, 135. But yeah, that was an interesting era in hip hop, bro. Like 2009, like obviously besides the blog era and the mixtape, there were also this era where like it was like the most obvious, corniest shit, but it was still cool. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that fell into it, right? Like that Soulja Boy post, you know, him coming out with his big hit Wonder Superman or whatever. Like, there was corny phases,
like ringtone stuff.
Yeah, bro. Like, there was some corny phases in hip hop around that time. I'm trying to think about other shit, dude. Like, yeah, dude, like even like swag surfing. Like swag surfing is obviously like a hood classic now.
Yeah.
But I think even at the time we're like, bro, this is kind of corny. Like we know, like we could accept that, right? Like So it was just funny. But no, Trey Songz is dope. So would you say he was the overall best performance, or were there other people who were better?
I would say so. I mean, it's kind of hard to compare because everyone had like different hits and vibes and stuff, but I think everyone did their thing, to be honest. Like there wasn't a single performance where I was like, damn, they're not really performing. And I think it does have to do with like the difference between R&B artists and rappers. Like a lot of rappers will kind of just smoke a blunt and say like every other 5 words, whereas like every single singer on stage, they would like cut the beat and they would just go a cappella for like 20 seconds, and they sounded, you know, flawless. And yeah, like everyone was dancing around and having a good time, so it was really good.
Right. So then I was going to ask you that about the sound quality, because that's obviously something we spoke about a lot about Rolling Loud. How was the overall sound quality at the event?
It was amazing. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that it's like insulated because it's at the Chase Center. I think the Warriors play there.
Oh shit! This is like a major venue then.
Yeah, major venue.
Oh, that's sick, dude. I know this is like a little theater that they just like got these acts. That's pretty sick.
No, major theater.
And like sold
the sound
out.
quality was great. Sold out. I don't know if it's sold out, but it was definitely packed. Like it didn't look very empty.
That's sick, dude.
As far as
that
I can
is
tell.
Impressive, bro. Because if you would have told me that, I mean, yeah, dude, I definitely would have just assumed like this was like a theater, and like, because again, like even though like those names you mentioned are pretty mainstream, kinda. Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't think at this stage in their career they would warrant such a big venue.
Yeah.
So kudos to the fans for like demanding that. That's pretty sick.
For sure. Yeah, and none of the artists, like, I don't know if I'd necessarily consider them A-list right now. Like maybe
B-list? At some point in their career they were.
Yeah, I'd say B-list.
Yeah, dude. But I don't think most of America who's R&B fans can pick out Jacquees from like a lineup right now.
I don't know. Jacquees, I feel like I didn't even know my friend's girl knew who Jacquees was.
I was shocked by that statement, but I didn't want to sound racist. When you told me that she was like that.
No, but that tells me that like if you like R&B, like
you would know. Fair. That's also
like
fair.
If you're like passive, like if you're like someone who kind of dabbles in R&B and really only listens to Chris Brown and Trey Songz and those guys, then you might not be able to pick out Jacquees.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But I definitely couldn't pick out Jacquees or August, like another, maybe. I mean, Monica. I mean, I know Monica since I was like 7 years old, going back, you know. But yeah, no, but that's the Chase Center is wild, bro. I definitely, all the spaces you were gonna tell me, I did not. I was thinking again, like some, you know, dope theater, you know, can maybe hold a couple thousand people and keep it moving.
Yeah. Except during the August Alsina performance, the whole time I'm just thinking of Will getting slapping Chris Rock and entanglement and all that stuff. But didn't seem like it phased his performance at all.
And like people like, so obviously there was like 4 or 5 different artists performing, if not more. And during each time, like you felt like the crowd was actually like there for that individual person. Like people were singing along and all that stuff.
Yeah, everyone was singing along.
Nice.
No one. It wasn't like rap concerts where everyone just on their phone, kind of like trying to capture the moment. Like people were standing on their chair, just vibing out. Like I honestly didn't see many phones out that were like so fixated on, let me show this on the gram.
That is dope. Well, maybe because most people go into these events a little bit older, so they have like Facebook and like.
They're older, and I don't know, maybe like because the artists, like they're there for the music. I think some of the hip hop acts, it's like you're there just to say you saw them. You don't
to put the geotag and just say this is Travis, like you know, at Travis Scott or whatever. No, you're right. No, dude, that's sick though, man. I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, but honestly, I was thinking it was gonna be like the in between stuff was gonna be more like mini comedy sets or some shit, or like little Duval. I saw too. Duval was there, right?
Yeah, he was there.
Did he do any songs or?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
The "Living My Best Life" song.
Nice.
Which is dope.
Nice.
Yeah, there wasn't like full on sets. It was kind of just, yeah, like I said, cracking jokes here and there and getting the crowd warmed up for the next act.
Nice, dude. But again, I mean, from the stuff you guys posted and the because I follow Duval as well, the stuff he put, like it looked like a fucking great time, bro. So I'm glad it actually was that for you and not like, you know, them overhyping. Because I remember when I went to a Rush show in Miami, he was like sold out venue, and I'm like, sold out, bro. Like, I was like, yeah, if you don't let people sell this entire section of seats, then yeah, it's sold out, but like it's not sold. Dude, I'm glad it worked out. But before we jump into the topic for this episode, I do want to bring back Cinema Theory, because I finally watched Creed 3. So I kind of want to do like a little breakdown now that it's, again, if it's a spoiler alert for other people, the movie's been out for 4 weeks, figure it out. But now that I've seen it, I wanted to talk about it with you. So I gave it an 8.8 rating. You gave it a 10 out of 10, right? So I wanted to give the reasons why I didn't want to give it a 10, but still wanted to give it like a very good score, right? I figured we talked about it on the pod, right? So the only reason I didn't give it like anything in the 9, because I think there were still enough things in the movie that made me, and funny enough, after the episode we had, I thought it was a little bit corny. Okay.
Yeah.
So specifically, like I appreciate the anime stuff, right? In the fighting when like Creed and Damien, I think his name is, right? Dame, finally fight, right? Like that overall was epic, dude. Like the glancing at each other. I love how you get the enemy's point of view as well. It's not just about Adonis. Like I feel like there's moments like they let you like think as Damien. But bro, when it started becoming like different scenery behind them, like when it was like a jail cell and then like bars and then like a padded wall, I'm like, bro, I get it. But like, I think that was taking it like too far, bro. Like, I feel like the animation and like the way they were fighting was enough to kind of transform you to somewhere else. Like you don't literally need to put them in like a jail cell for me. Like that part was like a little bit like too much, bro. Like, cause now like it's not a flashback. It's literally them somewhere else. So that's the reason I gave it like a negative point. And then I think they got into the fucking storyline too quick. Bro, it went from my man's in jail to my man's a millionaire now, like with a dope penthouse. Yeah. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen, bro? Like,
all right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, I mean, when it comes to like my ratings, I'm just like spitting out numbers, but reevaluating it, that was one moment where I was like, what the fuck? Like, they didn't lead up to how he was given a chance to like fight the best boxer on the planet. Like this motherfucker did a few push-ups, like socked his ass out in the ring once, and then that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And then again, apparently he's won multiple fights because he has multiple belts now. And like, remember the part where he saw Adonis on TV and he's like in a fucking penthouse chilling? Yeah. I'm like, bro, how did you get here, bro? Like you were just broke a week ago. But like, so like the timeline of whatever's happening in their life was just like, because it also felt like when he met Damien in the beach, in that beach scene, Adonis, it felt like he just came from the hospital for the other guy. But then it seemed like Damien was already rich. And I'm like, bro, like, what? I don't know. That part just threw me off. So I had to give like a couple negative, like, not full points, but just enough to knock it down. But again, overall, I thought this movie was great. And like, if it's the last Creed, you know, of the movies at least, like I thought it was a nice way to end it. And I also love, like I told you when we were texting, I love that they ended the movie with them, like at least being cool with each other, right? Because like, bro, that's like your brother, man. Like we can pretend that 20 years has gone by or whatever, but for those first, you know, that 5-year stretch was like obviously super impactful. So I'm glad that they ended it as boys. But yeah, if you want to reevaluate your grading, what would you give it now?
Probably 9. I think for me, if it's 10 out of 10 for any movie, that means I'm like eager to watch it more than once. Okay. There's very few films where I'm like, I need to watch this again and it's going to give me the same reaction. I would like to think that I can't do that with this. Like, I really don't need to see it twice. Yeah. Anytime soon.
Yeah, dude. But I also think that I completely agree. But I also think it's because of like the heaviness of the movie, right? Like it was like an insane spectacle, and I would compare it to like back to music, like the recent Kendrick album, right? That was like a one and done. Like, bro, I was fully satisfied that first time. There's no need for me to figure out what did he say or what did that mean, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I feel the same way with Creed 3. Like, I was fully satisfied when I left the theater. Besides, bro, literally the worst fucking audience to watch a movie with, bro. Like, in that moment, I was like, yo, this is why I don't. Yo, people were fucking clapping, crying at different parts that didn't make sense, bro. Like, remember when they, after the main event fight for both of them, when they like went to the locker room and like were sitting side by side, people were laughing. And I'm like, bro, what exactly is funny here? Like what is like,
but then I wonder if like, the problem too is like people in the audience will talk to each other and they'll be laughing about some other shit that has nothing to do with the movie. And it'll like just ruin the vibe because it'll be at the wrong part.
Correct.
And I think that's probably
exactly what it was, bro. Yeah. But I was definitely annoyed by that. But overall, I thought it was a great movie. And funny enough, it's funny that we brought up last week's episode 135, about Big Sean. And it's like, yo, is Big Sean on the clock? But then I realized that Big Sean has like this main song when Creed comes out. So you're probably like, bro, you crazy? This guy's blowing the fuck up right now.
Yeah, no, I think he's still solidified. We did say that.
Yeah, it's still solidified. It was cool that they used a couple Nipsey songs for Damien. That character is great though, bro. Like the way that he portrays that role was pretty intense.
Yeah, no, he seemed like a real like LA gangbanger the way he was talking and acting.
Oh, so like even like his movements and like facial expressions.
Yeah, just like his tone and like everything. You just seemed like I was very surprised when I saw his interview. Like his demeanor was completely different. He didn't look or sound intimidating, but in the movie, he seemed like a real jailbird like type dude you wouldn't trust like with your eyes not facing towards him, basically. Yeah,
dude. There was a couple times where I thought this guy was gonna make a move on Creed's wife, and I'm like,
same,
bro.
Yeah, when they're at the event,
he's gonna have to kill this guy, bro.
When Kehlani was singing. That
oh
part?
My god, yeah. Like, first of all, we need to have like, our theory about best looking. Yeah, Kehlani's on that list, bro. Like, it makes sense now. Like, there was a stretch where like every rapper, like NBA player, was like losing his mind over her, pre-lesbian Kehlani. But bro, oh my god, like it all makes sense to me now, bro. Like when she popped up, I was like finally something for me because like my girl was like losing her mind over like Michael B. Jordan the whole movie. So I'm like, at least I got like a minute or something.
Yeah. No, that scene was crazy.
Yeah, but great movie. You just saw Scream 17. So what was your initial verdict and reviews about that?
I think I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was definitely entertaining, but personally, I thought it was very predictable. And then the scenes from the trailer that
were kind of the best scenes.
The best scenes like weren't really drawn out any longer than that. I thought it was just going to be. I thought they could have done more with those scenes and taken advantage of the whole New York setting. But
they didn't.
Not to the degree that I thought.
Got you.
I think that's.
Because I feel like when New York gets tough, because like I feel like you have to make New York almost like a character in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of shit just be in New York. So it never felt that way.
I mean, you had like the subway scene and, alleys and all that stuff, but like it was very few and far in between. Like,
got it.
A lot of the scenes were still just inside a fucking house or apartment or whatever. Like, and
got
they
it.
could have done that anywhere. So I don't know. I just thought they could have played around with it more. And I won't get into the details, but I thought it was a lot more predictable than I expected.
That sucks. So yeah, because the trailers really got me. I mean, I'm still gonna go see it, but the trailers really made me feel this is gonna be even better than the last one, which was still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's humor in it, which I know the last one incorporated more than any of the other movies. I think these new films or sequels, they're adding humor to it, so it definitely adds to it. But I would still see it, but I prefer the first one. First one of these new
the remakes.
Yeah, the remakes.
Got it. All right, cool. So I'll watch it these next couple of weeks, and we'll do a take two of that one as well. But let's get into it, man. Episode 136. I guess the biggest thing in hip hop culture right now is, the pop world and R&B world had their time with Beyonce's tickets coming out and people talking about, getting a third mortgage to go buy tickets. Well, Drake officially announced he's going on tour with 21 Savage on the It's a Blur tour. So first thoughts on the tour, and then are you going or you're not going?
First thoughts of the tour, I think it's dope. Makes complete sense. They're gonna make a ton of money. Initial look at the ticket prices, I was like, I need some time to think about this because I do love Her Loss. I love both of their music individually, but obviously it's not something that you just purchase on a whim. Like, yeah, fuck it. Like, here's $1,000.
Here's $1,000. Exactly.
But yeah, so we went to the Fall Back in Love tour with Mario and Trey Songz, etc. And just being in that setting and experience, like I had such a good time. I just thought about the Drake and 21 Savage tour, and I was like, I don't go to, concerts for like a specific artist that often. Drake keeps hinting at retirement, and even if he doesn't, like, when's realistically the next time he's gonna have this big of a moment? So I was like, screw it. I'll buy tickets and we'll make it happen. He's
so you bought two for you and the wife? Or you guys going as like a group?
Bought two.
Nice.
Honestly, don't know anyone who's big enough of a fan of his
to drop that kind of money right now.
That kind of money to go. Yeah. But we did, and I have no regrets. I listened to the album again right after. I'm like, all right, it's a good decision. Actually, right before I bought it.
I feel better about this.
Right before I clicked purchase, I went through the whole process. I went back to the album. I'm like, let me just listen to this one more time. Like, I think 2 songs in, I was like, fuck it. And I pressed purchase.
Yeah, and also like, it gets exciting when it's 2 people like that, because obviously they have an entire album, which they're probably going to do most of the tracks. They also have other songs together, right? And then there's also going to be a time where it's just 21 Savage doing his hits, and then Drake doing his own. Like, I think he's really enjoying like doing these like deep cuts, like the B-list songs that he still loves and he knows fans love. So. Exactly. Like, I'm just hoping for that. So yeah, like I don't blame anyone who wants to drop the money. So for me, so a little bit, I'm definitely going to go. So usually I have a hookup at all events at the Miami Arena. But my hookup wants to go. So he took the tickets, right? So for him and his family. So I'm like, cool. So luckily enough for me, I'm going to knock on wood. I should be able to get tickets for the concert at face value, as opposed to the Ticketmaster and StubHub and, the fucking, 5-time markup and shit. So nice. But either way, even if it wasn't that case, bro, I feel like I still would have, you have to go for everything you said, though. First of all, I've never seen Drake live. The only time I've seen Drake live doesn't count, which is why I said that. For Astroworld Sicko Mode, Travis literally brought him out for a minute and a half, and then he left. So besides that, bro, when's the next album? When's gonna be a big enough reason for him to even go on tour, though? You know what I mean? Because I personally don't see another album coming out for a minute, based on the way he's been talking and just on these last 2-3 years run. So I think if you're a Drake stan, you have to go. If you love hip hop and it's in your town, I think you have to go. Because again, I think you're going to get a lot of things that you love about Drake, but also, like you said, the intimate factor of a hip hop show where it's going to be done well, right? Because these are 2 guys that, people can talk about where they think 21 Savage ranks on today's, on the list of hip hop artists all time, but he's still a fucking phenomenal rapper, bro. And I can't see him on stage with 20 of his boys just fucking yelling for 2 hours. You know what I mean? I feel like he wouldn't be associated with Drake if that was what he was gonna do. For sure.
Yeah, this was like a no-brainer for me after I thought about it. And yeah, I think they're gonna put on a great show. They have a rapport that a lot of other rappers don't necessarily have, and I think they'll go, like you said, do a good job of playing their individual hits and cuts in between, just to switch it up, because obviously people are fans of them individually. I don't think necessarily everyone might not be the biggest fan of Her Loss, but them separately. So it only makes sense for them to do that too.
Yeah, no, dude, totally agree. I wonder if you think anyone will open up for them, or because they have so many the catalog is so extensive, like it's just them.
I hope so. Even if for a moment, just to do like a few songs. Worst case scenario, I feel like the DJ is just gonna be.
Wait, so you're saying you hope someone opens up for them?
Yeah, I hope someone opens up for them, but I feel like worst case scenario, the whatever DJ they have is gonna do a good job of
just hyping up the crowd, or like whoever. Yeah, maybe like Oliver. I know like he's Drake's manager or something. So yeah, but again, if you're a fan of just hip hop, like I feel like you have to go to this show, bro. Like it's just when the tickets dropped, I just told my boy like, yo, we have to go. Like so it's gonna be God willing, me and the fiance and him and his wife. It's on a Wednesday here. Is your event also gonna be at the same location you just went to?
Yeah, same location. Fortunately, Friday and Saturday was cheaper. So I was
you guys getting back-to-back shows? That's sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is so crazy because he's like, they're going to, for some reason, they're performing in Inglewood, then coming to the Bay, and then going back to LA. And for those who don't know, like the LA venue and Inglewood venue, probably like a 30-minute drive apart. So I don't know why they're coming way up here and then way back down there.
Interesting. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm sure the money makes sense. Otherwise, they're not doing it. But yeah, I know. For me, it's a Wednesday night. But it's a Wednesday in July. Like, bro, you'll fucking figure it. I'm going to a Knicks game on a Wednesday in 2 days, so like you can just figure it out. But
you get face value through work or what?
Face value through my boss, who used to work in the Miami sports industry for 20 years. So these guys all like have like they still are like friends. So it's like, oh, you want tickets for this? Hit up this guy. So dude, I got box seats for the Tyler the Creator concert.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Free. Like
that's dope.
Yeah. So like once in a while, like he's never not come through for me. But obviously if it's like a massive event, he's gonna be like, bro, like I this is the best I can do for you. But most times it's like it's 2 free tickets to any event I want. So that's it.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah, I can't name names though, just to protect my own well-being. So, obviously, talking about Drake though, and again, because it is a bit of a slow news week, I wanted to just ask the question, kind of going off last week's talking about best eras. So, obviously, It's a Blur. Her Loss is going to be probably the main amount of content that's being done, but there's going to be other Drake tracks that he takes a deep dive into. So I wanted to ask you, man, what's your favorite Drake era or Drake, I guess, album when you think about the overall catalog?
It's a tough one. But I think for me, I would have to say that If You're Reading This, It's Too Late era. So that was 2015.
2014, 15?
Looks like it's 2015.
It is 15? Okay.
Yep. And I think that like he had energy in 10 bands, no telling and stuff. Bro, I think at that
10
point,
bands, you repeat that shit 10,000 times, bro. Like,
right. And I don't know. I think for me, like at this point, his sound began to change. And it just was like more gritty and aggressive in a good way.
Okay.
So he had been in the game, like solidified in the game for a solid 5 years or so at this point. And I think he was just proving that he was still that guy with that album, especially because albums before that, he had a ton of criticism. And If You're Reading This, It's Too Late just kind of came out of nowhere and like had people shell shocked. So that was dope. Like he really brought himself up to a new level and set the bar with that.
Dude, yeah, that's a great era, because I think 4 months later then he dropped
What a Time
with
to Be
Future.
Alive.
Yeah, What a Time to Be Alive, bro. So like at that point, Drake is riding a high that I think people in the moment didn't know how big it was, but you have to be like, oh shit, like this guy really is the guy. You know what I mean? Because that's a summer removed from him bodying Meek Mill in the I think it was just the summer that passed. Like over the summer he bodied Meek Mill, and then he comes out with these 2 albums. Like, fuck, bro, that 12-month run was wild. So no, that's a great era for sure. I don't know if What a Time to Be Alive holds up too well, but it's up there though as far as like quality of music. Dude, for me though, man, I'm gonna go before that then, because I really think if it wasn't for this era, there would be no Drake. So I'm gonna go with So Far Gone Drake. And like the 6 months prior and the year after that, right? When he's like trying to figure out who to sign with officially, working on the first album, which again, I personally thought the first album was actually kind of ass. But as far as So Far Gone Drake, like that pocket of Drake, bro, honestly, that's my favorite version of him, man, because we gave Yachty a lot of credit for taking risks. Bro, when you re-listen to So Far Gone, there are so many risks taken on that album that like I feel just like brushed aside today because we assume, okay, that's what Drake would do. But like, dude, no one was coming out with a fucking like pop song with like Leaky Likey, you know what I mean? And making that shit sound flawless. Like the two other rock songs that he has, and it just like goes perfectly. And then he's rapping over that Jay-Z beat from American Gangster with the feature from like, bro, there's so many fucking different ways and different moods you could be in, but it still sounds so cohesive. And for that to be a mixtape, bro, that just set the bar that like I think the bar was set so high that even after a very disappointing debut album, everyone was like, fuck it though. Yo, he's still the man, bro. Like, it's not a big deal. Yeah. Whereas like with Jack Harlow, for example, we're like, damn, all right, this may not be him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he built up so much equity because, bro, we're like, nah, dude, something went wrong. Bad features. It was never like, yo, Drake sucks, which is only a testament to how good that first mixtape was.
For sure.
Well, not first mixtape, but the mixtape that put him on, the map.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, like that is his classic. So they gave him a pass with, I think a lot of people I feel like consider Thank Me Later like a sophomore album in a sense.
Yes.
Whereas with Jack Harlow, he doesn't really have that body of work that everyone's like unanimously saying that's the shit. Even if he fucks up after, like at least we have this.
Correct, bro. And Drake was already on so many features, bro. Like in between Thank Me Later and So Far Gone that like, dude, like it wasn't just like a good body of 10 songs. It's like, bro, like he's on everyone's shit. Like Lil Wayne is abusing this dude in the studio. Like, bro, go to work. Like, yo, like this guy was on a different planet, bro. So yeah, I would say that has to be my favorite version of him. What would you say is your second favorite album? Like a close, maybe like a surprise that people wouldn't think you have up there?
Honestly, I would have to say the same thing. And
nice.
Not necessarily, some of these songs weren't even on a project as far as I'm aware, but when I did see Trey Songz at the Fall Back in Love Again concert, I kind of got...
Did he do Successful?
He didn't, but I kind of got nostalgic and sad because I'm like, damn, like he and Drake were such a dope duo. And I remember that song Replacement Girl, I think.
That was pretty much Drake's like first like video, I think.
Yeah, like I remember seeing that for the first time, and then Successful, and I think Unusual is a song, or The Usual is a song that he has with Trey as well.
Well, also I Invented Sex.
That
but they had a falling out though, right?
Trey and Drake on the album that you mentioned. Actually, no, sorry, it's a different one. I think they had a falling out of some sort. And I'm pretty sure that's the case because they definitely haven't even come remotely close to like doing any work
remotely
together.
Close, and then on that song that we both love, "Do Not Disturb," I think Drake has a line where a girl's like, "Oh, you'll never be as big as Trey's song," and he's like, "Damn, girl, you were wrong." Like to that extent. So I feel like you don't put that bar in if that's your boy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true. But yeah, that I don't know. I just thought they flowed so well together. It's a shame that they fell out for any reason, because I think that era was dope, and they kind of bridged the gap between R&B and hip hop, and then now he's just miles apart from
bro. Do. Yeah, dude. Honestly, like, you know how like in basketball, not basketball, like on ESPN, they do like documentaries on different sports stories called like 30 for 30. Yo, the 30 for 30 about Trey Songz's life is gonna be wild, bro. Like, and like they need to make that, dude, because there was a moment this guy was like on a meteoric rise, and then something happened, dude, that it just went the other way. Like, obviously,
it's all these allegations and shit.
Bro, I was gonna say that, bro. There's some like Bill Cosby shit that like everyone in the industry just knows but doesn't talk about with him.
Yeah.
So again, to each their own. Like, again, I enjoyed his music when he was, again, dude, that bit Ready album. Again, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. Fuck R&B. But yeah, it's interesting, bro. And also because they were doing like not a making the band, but like a thing on MTV, like following his like album release for that album. And I remember like his manager was like, bro, you sounded like shit tonight. And he was just drinking a bottle of champagne like, what's the problem, bro? Like, it's not a big deal. So like, he definitely reached a level of like ego, like that he knew he was the man. But yeah, bro, that fall from grace was heavy, bro, because he was out here, dude.
Yeah. I mean, his last album, the one with Nicki Minaj, I think Touching You is the name of the song. That was like a smash hit. Let me just checking how long ago that came out. But I'm pretty sure I don't even remember that song. Okay, so 2000, damn, that was a long ass time ago. 2015 was essentially the last like time I think he's had like a major hit on the radio.
8 years
crazy because that's 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
When I saw him perform, he didn't look phased or like jaded or like he lost it or anything. Like it was as if nothing happened. So I wonder if he really is just like blackballed and like people are just afraid to work with him.
Yeah, I mean, certain people, right? Like mainstream, right? He can do this kind of tour that you went to,
right?
Which is still very much like community, like the culture driven. But yeah, I can't see him being like the lead or like, you know, a fucking Powerade commercial coming out and using one of his songs. Like, I don't see that happening. But
right,
yeah. Wow. Again, just a side note, man. I don't want to get sidetracked. But for me, though, a close second, and this might be the craziest of fucking takes, but I personally think my not second favorite Drake, maybe the most underrated Drake project to me is Dark Lane demo tapes, bro. Because that gives me a variety of emotions and vibes that I also enjoy from So Far Gone. Like, not the extreme. And I know Toosie Slide was a failed attempt or whatever, failed at like getting like a TikTok banger or whatever. But there's enough songs on this fucking project, bro. Like When to Say When, Chicago Freestyle, Time Flies, Desire. That fucking Playboi Carti song is good. Losses, From Florida with Love. Like, bro, there's like 6 songs that I play nonstop. So for a mixtape to have that many songs, I feel like there's more appreciation that needs to be given. Which again, I think enough people were just so stuck on like, we need to get Certified Lover Boy, fuck this album. But like, if you would have just appreciated that album, I think more like people would have actually enjoyed it more than they think.
Yeah, that's definitely one I have to revisit. And I think I did send you the one with Playboi Carti on it because I heard it somewhere.
It was like 1990. It's about 1993 or some shit.
Yeah, and I think I actually liked it when I heard it passively. So I went back to it and I was like, oh, this song's actually dope. At the time, I wasn't like too in tune with Dark Lane demo tapes because one, the Toosie Slide, like I thought it was just a
corny.
Trying to spoon feed me a TikTok hit.
Yeah.
And then I think there was a song on there where he's kind of doing like UK drill, like a UK drill type tone.
Yeah.
And then that I was like, oh, is he just, tapping into the new wave? So then like part of me was just like, all right, maybe this thing's not for me. But it sounds like there's more to be
There's
had.
more, bro. Like the Losses is a banger, Desires with Future's a banger, and then From Florida with Love, bro. Like I put that song on the flight just to get me ready for the mindset. Yeah, dude. Nice. So again, I hope we do get a variety of this at the concert. I mean, when is your show?
August 18th.
Okay, so I'll go 4 years. So I won't say anything until you go, and we can compare notes afterwards on the pod. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for it. Because I really do hope it is that, right? Like them together, but then separate. Like, because I do like, again, we deserve to have Drake alone, but even we deserve to have 21 alone, bro. Because 21 also has a ton of fucking hits. So like,
yeah,
like bro, they both bring out like J. Cole or some shit to do like songs. That'd be a fucking like movie, bro. So
I know.
I mean, in the Bay, they should bring out, you would think they'll bring out some people in the Bay, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Cause like, it's not a random city. It's close to LA. I know in LA, like it'd be a no-brainer to bring out somebody. The Bay, I'm not too sure. Cause we don't have too many like A-list artists that like live in the Bay. that I can think of.
Or at least that they have songs with, right? Like you may have artists, but like, yeah, he's not bringing out E40 or some shit. Like,
I mean, he has that one song, was it The Motto? Where he was in the Bay and he like shouted out E40 and shit. But I don't think
that's true.
Go to that extent.
That's an extent. You're reaching on that one.
Right. Plus, I don't even care to see like any of those artists really there if they don't have like a banger together.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Whereas I think you're right. If it was LA, I can see him pulling out a couple stunts.
YG,
fuck it, bring out the game, dude. Figure out a way to bring Dre. You know what I mean? Just like dumb shit, but like it'll make sense in this setting, right? Just because I feel like he's been really big on like giving people their flowers recently, which is dope to see from him. You know what I mean? Like when he's the fucking like Godfather right now. But like in Miami for sure, he's bringing out Rick Ross. Like that shit, and they got bangers together, bro. So that's gonna be a movie. I can see who else. I feel like in Miami, he's brought out multiple people from what I've seen in the past. So like, yeah, I know, man. I'm excited. Hopefully it's not a blur afterwards and we can really dissect all of it. Because again, I feel there's something about him right now that feels like he's about to like put up the cape and retire for at least a little bit. So, which again, maybe he only said that shit, bro, to drive these fucking prices to the roof and fool us, bro. But we'll see. But I'm definitely excited for the concert, and I can't wait for us to chop it up about it.
Same.
One more thing that I wanted to bring up before we get into some heat of the week this week. This has been like a work thing that like kind of flooded into like my thoughts on doing the rundown. Is obviously it's already going to be Q2 in like a week and a half. So I wanted to go back to Q1 of music and feel like, what have been some like massive moments and like, the winner of 2023 thus far, and what has been like a disappointment to a certain extent this year thus far for you?
I'll start with disappointments just because I couldn't think of any, clear winners at the top of my head. But in terms of disappointments, I think just in general, like everybody getting locked up, Tory Lanez, Young Thug, and then Gunna, of course, is out, but like his reputation.
He can't drop music, bro. He can't drop music.
Right. So it's like, and then of course, all these drill rappers who I don't even like necessarily know or care to talk about are also getting locked up in charges. And I'm just like, can we just get back to making some regular ass music? Like, does everything have to be incriminating at this point?
Yeah.
So I think that's it for me. I would like to see a balance. I know we chatted before about, drill music can take a back seat for now. Like we've had enough of that stuff. Like let's get back to something new. So I think that's kind of been the disappointment for me these past couple months. In terms of winners, I think it's still tough to say. I don't think anyone's really come out and, showed me that, hey, like they're on the path to, take over the year in its entirety.
Okay.
But off the top of my head, I will say Lil Yachty seems to have like gained a newfound respect from maybe not necessarily hip hop, but just avid music listeners in general. I think taking that leap took a lot of courage. And it seems like a lot of people were pleasantly surprised and see him as an actual artist now, whereas before he was kind of the poster child of mumble rap. And I think people realize like, hey, just because you made a certain type of music in the past or like to make a certain type of music doesn't mean you're not talented.
Dude, spot on, man. Kind of stole my fucking ideas. Maybe I should put less notes on this, but no, spot on. The Yachty for sure. Like that was going to be mine. Like the biggest winner I think of 2023 is him, bro. Because, and it's not just because you and I have spoken so highly of him. Like if you look at the comment section and like you start seeing the kind of stuff that he's being like a part of, over the last 2 or 3 months, like you're like, oh, okay. Even the industry is like putting him in a different box. He's always been popular. He's always been well liked. But I think the industry is taking notice of like his overall charisma as an actual artist now. So that's been cool to see, and definitely didn't expect going into the year, right? Like I think we spent like, dude, I've never been actively peeping a Yachty album in my existence. And the fact that like, even before I heard this album, I wanted to hear more about it because of his influence and Her Loss goes to just say, to show how important he's been thus far this year. But dude, for me, the biggest disappointment is going to be, and maybe it is a fallout from, you know, dude, think about it. Like Gunna and Young Thug have always been in our list of artists that we look forward to the most when a year begins, right? Since we're doing this podcast, at least about, I can't wait for Young Thug to drop another classic. I can't wait to see what Gunna does. So maybe it is a fallout from all these charges and them being locked up or, locked away or away for a certain extent like Gunna is. But I would just say my biggest disappointment is just the lack of music, bro. Like, I understand it's one thing to be like a music aficionado, which I think we both are, and like, go into our crates, and like take deep dives into older music, which has been very fun, bro. Like for example, I am very excited to listen to this fucking Trey Songz album now because I completely forgot about it, right?
Same.
But that should be a once in a couple other day thing. Like I shouldn't have to do this every fucking day, bro. Like, where is the new good music, bro? Like, cause I don't fucking see it. And maybe it's Ray Sherman. Obviously, I mean, Don Toliver was a nice standout. Like, but dude, to have 2 good albums going on 3 fucking months is wild, bro. Like, so yeah, I just need more. I just need more music.
No, it's rough. And it's funny that you say that because my Heat of the Week goes back to an older album, but that is a huge disappointment. And that's another reason why I was so eager to hop on the Drake train and purchase those tickets. Cause I'm like, bro, I don't see any superstars like that are going to have a 10, 15, 20 year run coming up anytime soon. So I don't have a damn choice but to see Drake because shit, there might not be anyone remotely close to Drake touring my city for 15 years at this rate. Yeah,
dude. Like the closest thing is Tyler. And I feel like he enjoys almost being in a bubble on purpose, if that makes sense, right? He's so big, but he does his fucking very best to not be big at the same time. Like, so yeah, no, you're right, man. But yeah, that's been my biggest pet peeve of 2023. And I know we said the same exact thing last year, and maybe it's just heading in that direction. But bro, man, and albums have dropped, bro. Like artists that I like. So I would give you an example. So an artist that I fucked with heavy, he dropped an album this year. Slow Tie dropped an album called Ugly. Bro, I could barely get through the first 4 songs. Like, bad, bro. Okay, now I'm gonna say bad, but just not enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like, just not enjoyable. So to really enjoy an album, I've been having to take these deep dives into shit from back in the day. I'm like, I'm all for it, bro. I love having our, we joke around like the playlist we're working on, having like, a variety of stuff. Yeah, that's great. But every once in a while, bro, give me something my ears have never heard of. And I'm like, oh my God, bro, this is insane. Did you hear this yet? Did you hear what he was trying to say about this guy? Like, so.
And you also don't want to feel like that old head who's like, there's nothing good nowadays. Like we only listen to the good music that came out fucking 20 years ago or anything like that.
But there is nothing good nowadays.
Right. but part of me is like, shit, am I the issue? Like, am I really just getting old and like none of this new stuff is doing it for me because my ears are just so not in tune with it? But I don't think that's the case. Because we like a lot of the new shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because the shit we're listening to is not artists from like 20 years ago. It's artists from like 2-3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean? So I really think it's just the industry doesn't know how to make the consumer, like they're too focused on like the end result, right? Personally, I think artists or labels are too focused on, is this TikTok worthy, right? Can a dance be made out of this, right? Are we going to be able to sell out the Chase Center if we go on tour? Whereas opposed to, dude, just making music, man, and people will find it. You know what I mean? Like, people, there's too many platforms now for people not to find quality music. And I just feel like we're in this weird middle part right now where people are just like afraid and then just not putting shit out. Like artists who we know are good, and have like bangers like stored away are like, nah, but dude, they're not gonna appreciate it, so let me not put it out. It's like, no, put it out, bro. Like enough people will appreciate it, man, because yeah, but think about it, like we got a Post Malone album less than a year ago, and we're already like, immediately we were like, nah, bro, this isn't it, man. This isn't it. You know what I mean? And we love that motherfucker. But I feel like even he's stuck in this like weird phase of like, how do I make my music more appealing to the masses? And it's like, bro, you're Post Malone. Like, we already love you. Just make the music you want to fucking make. So yeah, man, it's a weird time for us, bro. Well, obviously, thankfully, you're making music now, and you know, that could be the change that we need. But yeah, that would be my biggest disappointment. Like, I think we should have better music by this point in a new year. And I feel like if it's not out now, are we really going to just wait till like Q4 again and like get all these fucking albums? And it's just like, bro, like now we can't consume them properly because we're getting fucking flooded with this shit out of nowhere. So
I know.
Because that's how I feel like it felt like between like October and December, we got all these albums. It's like, bro, where the fuck were you the entire year?
I know. I got shit to do now and family to see. Like, I can't listen to all this.
Yeah, that's funny because when Her Loss dropped, I was visiting a buddy in Michigan. And I was like, do I just ignore them for an hour? Like, what?
I know. I was in Korea. It was like 7 a.m. and it was dope. And I'm like, I need time to fucking do this. I can't like it. I don't want to be walking through some fucking coffee shop blasting this shit. The vibe.
Yeah. Or just like having your AirPods in or some shit, bro. So, yeah, I feel you. But again, let's pray for the best. And again, I know we have enough classes we can keep diving into, but it'd be dope to get. Dude, if we got 2 more classic albums this year, I'd be highly satisfied, bro. And I don't think, I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think that's asking for much.
Not at
right?
All. But then again, like all the people who are capable of doing that shit, like already gave us stuff. So I don't know. Like Travis Scott, like that. I just thought of it, but I think he's gonna drop something, and I guarantee I'm gonna like it if he does drop it this year.
Utopia. Yeah. Again, dude, I was listening to Don Toliver this weekend, bro. I will say over and over again, that's to me, I consider like a playlist because it's just like a vibe, right? I don't give a fuck about the lyrics too much. Like, I'm just like, how is the energy? And the energy is like everything I'm looking for. But yeah, I think asking for 2 artists to come out and give us a timeless album isn't asking for much. Like,
no, not at all.
Yeah. But all right, Ben. Quick shout out before we jump into Heat of the Week. Today, March 20th, the 3 people charged with the murder of XXXTentacion were found guilty today. So shout out to XX's family. Hopefully justice was served correctly. I mean, it's going on, bro, 5 years since that happened, which is crazy. I think he'd be like 24, 25 now. So yeah, rest in peace to him. Obviously, a loss for everyone in the industry, but at least justice was served. So, which I feel like in most hip hop cases that doesn't happen, right? So at least, you know, the state did right by him and his family.
Yeah, it's crazy how long those cases take. Like, you would think
they seem like cut and dry. Like, you have a video of them like approaching him, shooting him. Like, I don't know what the fuck we're waiting for. Like,
that's what's wild. Yeah, like even when it is cut and dry like that, like these cases take like several years. And I get it. Like, if you're gonna put someone away for 40 years or whatever, like you want to do your due diligence and make sure you have the right person and you know the details of why it took place and everything.
You want to know motive, like even though if motive doesn't matter. But dude, I will say this, a side note. I was getting nervous for the sake of the case though, because it seemed like it seemed that like the attorneys for the family of XX were like pulling at straws and like wanted to get like Drake involved and other rappers who he had beef with. I'm like, guys, like, let's stay with the plan right now, bro. Like, so I said, like, yo, do they not have a case? So like, are they just doing this to like, what's happening, bro? Because I was like, there's no way, like, whatever, like Illuminati bullshit. I'm like, Drake has nothing to do with this. So,
I mean, it makes for a sexy story, so I get why people love entertaining shit like that. But like, I think academics pointed out a good point. If Drake just so happened to like tell these little kids to do it, and the little kids were not little kids, I mean teenagers, whatever they were, one of them snitched on his boys. And if you think he wouldn't snitch on Drake as well, you're crazy. Because Drake,
Right.
should have, if Drake fucking funded this, should have paid him more than $5,000. So he would have snitched on Drake in a heartbeat if that was the case.
Correct, bro. Like, yeah. So that's got me nervous, but thankfully, justice was served, and those three guys are going away for a while. So again, shout out to XXX and his family for getting a little bit of peace tonight. But episode 136 almost in the books. But before we leave, some heat of the week. My man, what is a song that you want to add? I guess we are going back into the crate though for this one, right?
Yep. So speaking of classic albums, thank you for sharing this song. It's Ray Shremmerd, Swang.
Oh,
Forgot how
legend.
much of a banger that song is. I listened to it all weekend, multiple times, never got sick of it. Coincidentally, right after I gave Hit Boy his flowers instead of Metro Boomin, turns out Metro Boomin made this beat. Wait, no, was it this? No, it was Teed Up. Never mind.
Yeah,
I think Mike Will made this one.
Mike Will made this particular album. Mike Will made like
P Nasty.
Oh, really?
I don't even know who that is.
But I know Mike Will made like the majority. There was a stretch that made like almost all their beats.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that song is absolutely fire, and very hypnotic in a way.
Yeah,
It's straight up banger, fun banger, and again, they have an album coming out in a couple weeks, so I hope it's as fun as all of their older catalog is. They have one song from it, I believe, out called Tanisha. Sounds a little different than what they usually make, but even that song is really good. So I'm looking forward to their release.
The album's the one that's coming out is called Shrem for Life, which is their fourth album, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
No, but Swang is, bro, and that album which that song is on has like 7 bangers, bro, which is crazy because they had to be just maybe 2021 when that shit came out, like
something like that.
Bro, that's wild, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I made a joke to Blair offline. Like, I can see why they took a break, bro, because like those royalty checks must have been insane. Like at that age, just to be rolling in fucking dough, like Grammy nominated, bro. Like it's like, yo, insane, dude. Like, but I wonder, like, if you get that much success at that age, like if that's almost like a detriment, because you're like, bro, I can't get much better than this. Like, what's the point of even trying to come up with better content? I don't know. Again, like it'll be fun to have like that kind of interview one day with an artist that like, because like, I don't know, it has to be weird. Like sometimes that shit feels too easy. And then you don't even know how to like process, like what the fuck just happened? How did I even create this? Like it just flew, it was just flowing.
I'd say so. I mean, I would imagine that if you have so many hits, it's like, you must feel like everything you do is lit, and like even if it's lukewarm compared to your other shit, you're probably like, oh, this is like, I'm me, like this is dope no matter what. And you probably feel like you don't have to try as hard, like, because when you're just starting out, you're hungry as fuck, like you want to make sure everything slaps. And I think when you get to a certain point, you're like, I'm just doing this because I'm having fun, and if you don't like it, like I still have 50 hits I can perform for you.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, Swang, dude, great choice. Already added to the playlist. Banger. I'm going, dude, back-to-back reggaeton fucking song. So this is actually the same exact artist I spoke about last week with Future. Bro, he came out with an album that actually is very good. So I'll take that back. There's 3 albums this year I enjoyed. Don Toliver, Lil Yachty, and then Eladio Carrion's album that just dropped last week. Bro, first of all, 18 songs. This motherfucker has 5Yo Foreign, Lil TJ, Rich the Kid, Quavo, Bad Bunny, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, and Future on the album. Bro.
That's that narco money.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble, bro, because this is fucking, crazy. Like, I spoke to my uncle who's like really tapped into this shit. Apparently, like he's like a huge like underground rap reggaeton artist that like just has a lot of connects. But bro, like this lineup is crazy, but it kind of all flows together nicely. But for me, my heat of the week this week is a song with him and Bad Bunny called Coco Chanel.
Nice.
Fire song. That's the beat that has like Mario Brothers like on fucking steroids. So like it's a fun beat. And also Bad Bunny has some bars for his ex's ex. Devin Booker. So that was cool as well. So yeah, check it out. Check out the entire album, to be perfectly honest. It's 18 tracks, all fun, very hip hop, and just like, you know, interesting to get a Spanish perspective. But like sometimes like when I listen to these Spanish artists that are so heavy into like trap or whatever, it feels fake. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like kind of with the drill music, like they're just doing it because it's a popular thing to do and they want to be a part of the wave. With this guy, it feels very organic. It doesn't feel forced. Nice. Like, I don't think 50 Cent and Lil Wayne are going to co-sign for the check, right? So, like, I would say if you listen to the album, you get a sense of like, oh, this kind of just flows nicely. And it's not just some guy trying to be down or some shit.
Yeah. Fake as in they don't live that life, or they don't really like this kind of music and the artists that make this kind of music?
All of it. They don't live that life, but mainly they don't really even listen to this kind of music, right. But know like, it's just popular. You just got
50 Cent because your manager liked him and knows it'll help you out, but you don't give a fuck about any of his catalog or anything.
Correct. Right. Like, I believe Elio Calderon like listens to fucking Many Men every morning or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that, bro.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's Heat of the Week, episode 136. Playlist updated every single week, so go peep that. But all right, broski, let the people know where they can catch us, what we got going on. Let's get out of here.
Yes, sir. Check us out at audio-theory.com. New episode every week on all platforms. We also have the merch on the site. And if you're on YouTube, check down below, copy a hoodie or t-shirt or sticker. And then we also have the Spotify and Apple Music playlist. As you guys may have noticed, we have a cool little promo that we got of both Apple Music and Spotify. Yep. So be sure to check that out, share it, spread the word, and we have new songs in there every week as well.
Yeah, and classic gems now because your artists don't put out good music. So there you go. All right, broski, have a great rest of your week. We'll talk offline. Love you, man.
You too. Love you too. Peace.
Peace.